Hello and thank you for tuning into this video. This is going to be a timeless tarot reading for Taurus, Sun, Moon and or rising signs. I'm going to be using the Halloween Oracle along with the Animal Totem Tarot. Now please keep in mind that this is a general reading, so this could resonate for many different people on many different levels, situations, what have you. So please take what resonates and leave what does not. So I'm just going to see what the overarching theme for your message is today. Just spilling stuff everywhere. Skeleton, strength, the bones, the foundation, the structure. Do you have a very strong structure right now? Do you have a strong routine? Do you have a strong community? That's the first thing that comes to mind. Like, do you have something that you can lean on right now? Many things that you can lean on, because the bones is not just one bone. Like, sorry, the skeleton is not just one bone. The skeleton is made up of many different bones that create this one big structure that keeps us walking and upright and moving and able. So have you got a complete skeleton right now? Like don't lean on one thing, whether that's like just leaning on one person or people and like neglecting to lean on yourself sometimes, but also like just leaning on yourself and not reaching out, if that resonates also. Are you taking care of yourself and also allowing others to take care of you when you really need it equally, is I guess what I'm trying to say here. Apple, risk and reward. The witch, the earthly weaver of the worlds. In my brain, like the word glue just came up. I'm just gonna pull, I feel like two more. That's what I'm vibing. The number 2. So we've got mummy, change. And cauldron, synergy and healing. If it wants to focus. Basically, on what have we got on the bottom of the deck? Why not? Dawn, the light after the darkness. Okay, so there is something that you have moved through or are moving through. Maybe have been moving through for a while, but now like the lesson or the story has kind of come to a complete, like you're on the last page and you're like, this is like a time for you to be like, okay, what am I gonna do now? Because it feels like there's almost like a huge mindset shift as well, where it's just like, okay, like, because dawn, the light after the darkness, like this is about like illumination, like fully seeing the whole picture, learning all the lessons, experiencing all of the things, and now just being like, okay, I feel like that this is like the biggest thing I'm getting from this, is just like moving in a completely new direction. It's like you've seen all the things you need to see in a situation and just like moving on and being like, you know, I get the lesson, I get the whole thing. Where is this going to direct me now? Where am I going to go now that I have seen what I've seen and experienced what I've experienced? With the witch, this is all about like creation, drawing in what you want, because she's the earthly weaver of the worlds, right? She is a manifester. She uses what she has to her advantage to get what she wants. in this case it would be your experiences. So now that you know what you know and you have the lessons of whatever it is, you know, even just saying like the last chapter, right? Because we have the mummy here, change. This is a new chapter. Like, mummies are dead, right? And then they get wrapped up and they get all of their little, you know, tools and knickknacks and stuff that help them to go into the afterlife. So just like another higher chapter. Also, when I see the pentacle here, this is always about protection. The pentacle is this symbol right here. It represents earth, air, fire, water, spirit, all of the elements. It's all encompassing, it's protective, it's healing, it's everything. It's the world. It just feels like a completion, like a lesson has been completely learned here. Maybe the lesson is about risk and reward. It's about like discernment, and deciding like what's right for you, what paths are worth taking and trusting, because that's what risk is about. It's about like trusting yourself to make the right decisions, to take the right risks, basically. So I'm just going to pull some tarot cards and see what else Taurus needs to hear based on the cards already pulled in this reading. Oop. Queen of Cups. Okay, so this is about like self-preservation, about self-awareness, especially of one's emotions, your emotional world. Here, I don't know if this is like a moose, like what kind of animal this is, but basically she is a land animal that is holding her breath and trudging through this water, right? Which is the emotions. She has a self-awareness of like how long she can hold her breath for, and what she can and can't handle, and she trusts that she can go after whatever she wants, go into the water, and to understand herself on that level. And this is also about self-compassion as well, because the cups are about emotions and the heart. The Queen of Cups doesn't beat herself up. The Queen of Cups has compassion for herself, and she doesn't judge herself, and she's not like, oh, I'm such a dickhead, oh, I'm this or I'm that. Like, the Queen of Cups takes the entire situation into account. And generally when you do that, most of the time, like in most situations, you can kind of be like, okay, like I understand why, you know, I might be repeating this pattern, or why I overlooked this thing, or you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, what this reading is telling me is that this lesson has been learnt. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't matter how long it's taken for you to come to this point. Like, I really think, you know, a really common theme in all of these readings that I've done recently is just change, and that's just an astrological thing as well. Like, we are all tying up loose ends and letting go of a lot of things at the moment, and completing a lot of lessons, which is a cool thing. So like, yeah, just like don't beat yourself up if this is something that has been like a long time coming. If you feel like maybe like on the inside you're like, oh, I should have known this for so long or whatever, like don't beat yourself up. Not with the Queen of Cups. Star in reverse. Yeah, so I feel like this is a redirection of goals, hopes and desires, and just seeing things in like a different way, and being like redirected, re-navigated in some sort of way, but still being really hopeful about it. Because we've got the lighthouse here, which is all about direction. It's like, here, like come here, this is the way to go. But in reverse, I'm just feeling like still that vibe of like this is where I need to go, but it just seems to be like in a different direction than what has been. And it's positive as well, like this is a good thing, but of course, you know, it can be a bit scary navigating waters that you haven't gone through before. But there's nothing, again, that's not positive about this. Page of Pentacles reversed. This is patience with yourself as well. Like, I just really feel like this vibe of that you've been beating yourself up really hard over something. Maybe it's just like a lesson that's been taking like a while, or just like a habit. Not necessarily a lesson, like I guess like a habit, and breaking a habit is a lesson. But eating healthy, for example, if you've been like if it's taken you a while to get out of like unhealthy eating habits, like it could be something that's been ingrained in you from like trauma, or like you were raised eating shit food, for example, and now you've only come to a point now where you've gotten over the hill and you're like, fuck, like I feel like I've beat this now, and I feel like I've shaken this habit, this thing that I keep going down the same path. But now I have the courage in myself, and I don't even have the desire to go back down this path anymore. Like, I'm ready for new, I'm ready for something different, I'm ready to explore other options. But yeah, it's just like you don't need to beat yourself up for not getting to this point sooner, because nothing is like, you know what I mean, like nothing happens overnight. Wheel of Fortune reverse. Yeah, this just again is giving lessons. The Wheel of Fortune reverse I don't see as a bad card. You could maybe see it as like misfortune, but I don't think that misfortune is necessarily bad, because it's just basically like the wheel turning in a way that we didn't really want it to turn in, but then like at the end of the day we get the lesson, right? Like maybe you didn't want to have like shitty eating habits, maybe you wish that your parents like raised you eating healthy. Like, this is just an example, right? It does not have to be like a, you know, about like not eating good. It could be anything, you know, absolutely anything. But yeah, this is just a reminder that like when the wheel does not turn in your favor, that doesn't mean that everything is awful and everything is crumbling. It just means that we're going through a lesson. And whenever we go through the lesson and we get over the hill, like we're able to reap the rewards and to explore other things and find happiness elsewhere, and confidence in the fact that we even fucking tried. You know what I mean? So Five of Pentacles reverse. Yeah, this to me just an indication of you coming out of a hopeless cycle. I'm not saying that you're hopeless, but like maybe this cycle, this chapter has felt hopeless. It's had you feeling really down, self-doubting, being like, am I even capable of this? Can I even fucking, like, do I have the energy to even, you know, like get over this thing? Is this just life? You know what I mean? This is just moving out of that vibe fully. So I'm going to pull one more card from the tarot, and yeah, just see if there is one final thing that you need to hear from this reading. Six of Swords. Yeah, I just feel like this is seeing the bigger picture and just like moving above your problems. So this, I think it's a sugar glider. So the swords are challenges, right? The swords are not always fun cards, but this sugar glider, he is kind of, you know, he's above ground and he's seeing like the full picture. He's navigating his way through these swords, but he can see them. He can see the full picture. so it becomes easier. And also when we have lessons, like go through lessons, so I'm just going to use like the healthy eating example again, because we're already on that topic. Let's say you do, like, that is your problem and you have gotten over bad eating habits. That's not to say that you're not going to be challenged again, right? It's not to say that that's not going to come up in your life. Like, someone's not going to, I don't know, you're going to get stressed and then go to like Hungry Jack's or something like that. Sometimes you'll cave. Sometimes you'll be tempted. Sometimes it's going to be handed to you on a silver fucking platter. And like, sometimes you might fuck it up again, like, but it's about, like, I feel like you've really you've really gotten over this time. So this is about having like the self-awareness to know that, like, when you slip up or when you have a little treat or decide to dance with the devil, you know what I mean, that you're not a terrible person, you haven't fucked up, you're not like, you're not going back because you've already come out of it. So yeah, you got this. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please feel free to give it a like. It just helps me out and it helps to get the video out to other people who may need this message. And yeah, I hope you have a lovely day.